Hi. Today I want to talk about what I've found to be one of the biggest growth areas for couples. And this could apply to friends or coworkers or anyone really that you are being with in situations where challenging emotions can arise, which is almost any situation really. Um, but specifically, uh, this is something that can seem kind of simple, but I think can actually have pretty profound benefits. And it comes up a lot for me in my coaching practice when clients come to me um, feeling unheard or like their partner doesn't get them or they don't feel supported, they don't feel seen. Um, and so, specifically, what sparked this video is I was just talking to a client who is uh, going through a move, moving across the country with their partner. And they, uh, she and her partner have kind of different priorities right now. She is very focused on, um, we need to get all this stuff done. I need to be super focused on productivity because the movers are coming in 2 weeks. We need to get everything ready on the truck. Whereas he is focused on, oh no, we're going to be leaving these friends behind. We might not see them for a while. So I'm going to prioritize connection, dropping in with people. So you can see how this could be a recipe for feelings to come up and misunderstandings. And so my first piece of advice for her was to kind of preempt some of the more challenging situations that might arise by checking in advance before the big need kind of happens. So, first of all, asking her partner for a good time, right? Like, hey, do you feel available now to check in about this moving process? Is now a good time? Or maybe later today? Would you like to schedule something? Right. So, first getting buy in that I want to have this conversation with you so we can kind of see if we're on the same page. We can check in about our needs, right? Instead of just starting to talk, figuring out is now the right time for both of us? Do we feel like both of us can be present right here? And then if you get a yes, then I think it's an opportunity to uh, check in with your needs. Um, if you're not feeling supported right now or seen right now, or you feel like I have to do this alone, why is my partner focusing on all that other stuff and leaving it all on me? There's this burden on me. I feel like I'm the only one who's taking this seriously. I think that's a great opportunity to notice any stories that you're creating, any way that you are blaming this person or feeling like they should be noticing what I need. They should be reading my mind. They should just understand. Like any decent human, any ethical person would just see that it's obvious what I need right now. Right? So clearly there's something wrong with them. Um, or either blaming them or just making yourself into a victim, maybe in some subtle way, like, oh, this just isn't fair. Why does this kind of thing always happen to me, right? Um, and so, if you can really examine yourself and notice, like, what is my unmet need right now? Like, is it that I feel like I have to do all this packing alone and I wish that I just had another set of hands to kind of make that easier so it's just not all on me? Or is it more of an emotional thing? Like, um, I feel like this is a priority for me, but my partner's not taking this seriously or they're not honoring my priorities. I feel missed in that way. Um, or is it, yeah, just that, maybe, for example, with this person, she was saying that her partner sometimes complains that, uh, you're being too pessimistic. Like, why can't you look on the bright side? Like clearly seeing our friends is positive. We get to hang out with them, and you're just focused on, oh no, we're not gonna hit this deadline. What if we don't get all this done before the moving truck comes, right? So why can't you just be more positive here? And when something like that happens, when there's that kind of rupture where you feel judgment or dismissal or disrespect from your partner, it can be really easy to go to one of several places, like retreating. Like, okay, fine. If they have this reaction, I'm just gonna go do it myself. I'm just gonna, I feel like I just have to handle it. I just have to be on my own. And or you could go to anger. Maybe you yell at them, or maybe you kind of you feel like you were insulted, so you're gonna insult them back now. Um, there are many different types of kind of unhelpful natural reactions that you might have at a moment like that. But one suggestion that I made to this client was, first you could share a bit about how that makes you feel. Like, wow, hearing you say that, I notice that I feel kind of unseen. I feel like my needs are being missed a bit here, and I understand like you have a different priority, and yeah, maybe it seems like I'm being pessimistic here, but for me, I guess I'm feeling just a bit scared that that we're not going to be ready in time. That feels kind of scary to me. And just offering a little vulnerability like that instead of blaming them or blaming yourself, just really sharing like what's happening for you, what you're noticing in that moment. I think that can often open up the door for further connection. If you share that kind of vulnerability, then hopefully that'll help them empathize with you more. And then what I suggested is to make a request. Say, hey, if they say, why are you being so pessimistic here? You could say, well, yeah, would you be willing to help me with that? And that can work especially well on guys, because a lot of guys in our culture have been trained to want to help, to want to solve problems, to fix things. And so asking them, would you be willing to help me with this? That can be a really great way of kind of getting their ears to perk up. Like, oh, wow, I can fix something. There's a problem that I'm being asked to help with, to solve. Wow, okay, yes, I'm willing to do that. But then you can kind of subvert it a little by asking for something a bit different. Like in this case, if you say, would you be willing to help with this? And they say yes, you could ask, yeah, well, what would feel really helpful is if you would be willing to validate my experience, that I recognize maybe this doesn't feel like the biggest priority for you, but for me, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on myself, and like this fear that maybe we're not going to get this done in time, and I would just love to hear you say that makes sense, that it's reasonable for me to feel this way. Right? And just hearing him say, like, wow, yeah, you're right. Like, this is totally reasonable that you feel this pressure. Wow, I'm sorry you feel that. That can feel really good. So they're not really fixing it, they're not really solving it for you, but they're offering that empathy, that care, that can feel really nice. And another way of framing this that can be helpful too is saying, I would really like to feel like we're on a team together. Like we are supporting each other through this, we're doing this together. And that can fit in nicely with that kind of preemptive talk. Like at the beginning of the move, or at the beginning of whatever challenging process you're going through. If you're about to do something big, like plan a wedding or something, right? At the beginning of that, checking in with like, okay, so we're about to do this hard thing. We're about to move. We're about to get married. So let's recognize that we might each respond to that in different ways. We might each have challenging feelings come up. And how can we support each other when those things happen? So you're kind of preparing in advance. What kind of support would you like to receive if that happens? And knowing that we're not against each other here. It's you plus me on the same team against the problem. The problem is the adversary. We are not adversaries. Right? So how can we feel like we're on a team together working toward this? So for the move, maybe it's saying like, I would love if we could make a list of tasks and we could divide them up between ourselves so that we feel like we're a team working on this together. Or I would love to feel like I can rely on you to be home at a certain time every night so that we can work on these things together. And I think this can be one of the greatest areas of personal growth, to really check in with yourself on what request do I want to make right now, because it can be so easy to just count on just kind of implying things, right? Like if I say I'm feeling stressed, I'm implying that I want the person to offer to help me in some way. But it can be a sign of great maturity and really a way to get very clear with yourself about your needs, to check in on, okay, what is my actual need here right now that's not being met? And what specific request can I make to get help with that? I would love it if you could do this. Would you be willing to do this? And they can say yes or no or negotiate. You could say, well, I'm not willing to do that, but I am willing to do this. So that's really taking kind of radical ownership for yourself, your emotions, your needs, instead of counting on someone else to babysit you, to fix things for you, to rescue you. You're realizing, here is what I need right now, and I'm going to ask for this to get that need met, to get that support that I need. Make sense? So I challenge you to try this out, to figure out when you and your partner or coworker or friend or family member, whatever, are about to go through a challenging time, and could you preempt that and have a conversation at the beginning on what's likely to happen here, how can we be ready to support each other, what kind of support would you like, and then if the challenging thing does arise, asking, hey, would you be willing to do this? Checking on your need, would you be willing to help me? Here's my request. Are you open to doing that? All right. Good luck, and let me know how it goes in the comments. Hope you have a nourishing day.